Dear brothers and sisters in Christ, good morning. Happy Wednesday. Today, Wednesday, October 2nd, October of the 26th, Sunday in Ordinary Time. Today is the Feast of the Guardian Angels, Holy Guardian Angels. So, it's a beautiful prayer, to a guardian angel. Angel of God, my guardian dear, to whom God's love commits me here, ever this day be at my side, to light and guard, to rule and guide. It's a beautiful prayer that we can recite every day, asking for the protection, guidance, and help of our guardian angel. Today, continue our journey through history, through church history. Second video, gonna take a look at the first 5 centuries of the church history. In particular, I'm gonna take a look at persecutions and the end of persecutions. The saints, the great theologians and great church fathers, how they're called, and first 4 centuries, and then also a beginning of monasticism, monastic life, how everything began. As I was saying in last video, Christianity in the first few centuries was persecuted. Christians were persecuted first by Jews and then by Romans. Romans authorities started to actively persecute Christians, accusing them, believe it or not, in an ironic way, of being atheists, because they didn't worship Roman gods. They didn't vow allegiance to emperor and didn't recognize him as the Son of God. Of course, because for us Christians, there is only one Son of God, Christ. We cannot recognize any other human being as Son of God. So Christians were accused of atheism and were persecuted and killed. Christians were often rounded up and brought into the local circus of the city, where they were given to the wild beasts to be eaten and killed and eaten by the beasts and for the amusement of the local populace. Sometimes were crucified or burned at the stake. The most famous persecution was one of Nero. It started in year 64. Nero accused Christians of burning Rome, which was a false accusation. But Christians were arrested, thrown into prison, and thrown to wild beasts, I was saying, in the Colosseum. The most violent persecution was under Diocletian, the emperor, at the beginning of the 5th century. But then everything stopped when, in year 313, Emperor Constantine legalized Christianity. Constantine is still debated the reasons why it did it. Some historians said he was a Christian. His mother, Saint Helena, was a saint. He was a sincere Christian, so I wanted to have his religion legalized. Other people talk about opportunism. He realized that Christians were growing in the emperor. Instead of antagonizing them, it would be good for the empire to have them on the side. Anyway, in 313, with the Edict of Milan, Constantine legalized Christianity. And in 380, so after only 60 years, basically, Christianity became the official religion of empire. And during this time, persecutions, we had great saints who, most of them died as martyrs, but who wrote treatises in defense of our Christian religion. They're called the apologists, the ones who wrote to defend Christian religions against the attacks of Jews or pagans. St. Justin, Tertullian, but most famous one is St. Augustine. They also wrote to defend Orthodox Christianity against heresies. We'll talk about heresies in our next video. But lastly, as I say, beginning of monasticism. We know who monks and cloister nuns are. There are many women who live in secluded communities and spend their life in prayer and working in the fields. Monasticism, how did it start? Well, it started officially, the one who started monasticism is Saint Anthony of Hermit, not Saint of Padua, another Saint Anthony, in Egypt, and towards the end of the 3rd, beginning of the 4th century. He was born in 251 and died in 356. He is the founder of Christian monasticism. But before Antony, there were men and women who were living in deserts, secluded remote areas, were living a life of poverty, chastity, and obedience, and prayer. But and this is what Antony did. He was a wealthy son of a wealthy family, but he moved into a desert, giving up all his properties to follow Jesus' invitational gospel. So give everything to a poor and follow me. But basically, monasticism took hold in Christianity because, believe it or not, persecution stopped. When persecution stopped, people ask themselves, Christians ask themselves, how can we give our life for Christ if we cannot die as martyrs anymore? And so monasticism became a bloodless martyrdom. Instead of shedding blood for Christ, Christian men and women started to live a life of poverty, chastity, obedience. They used to say, we die to the world in a bloodless fashion to give everything to Jesus. But the father of Western monasticism is Saint Benedict, who lived 2 centuries after Saint Anthony. He was born in 480, and he was born in Rome actually, and he moved out of Rome to central Italy, to live a life of prayer and poverty, and he founded monasteries. While Eastern monasticism was characterized by more solitary life, these monks were solitary individuals spending most of the time in prayer. Western monasticism instead is characterized by community life. Monks and cloister nuns were living in communities. This is what Saint Benedict did, established communities in which the life together was highly structured, prayer life, but also work together. And this is a great tradition that has survived to this day. This is what I wanted to share with you today. Take care and God bless. Have a great day.